Welcome to the Mo Money, Mo Problems podcast.
I'm Ella.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Vanessa.
I'm Amber.
This podcast addresses everything economics, which is the study of the fundamental problem of how people use scarce resources to satisfy their unlimited wants.
Today's episode is about the theory of the firm, which according to the Economics of the Firm by Roger Clark, includes economic theories that explain and predict the nature of the firm, company, or corporation, including its existence, behavior, structure, and relationship to the market.
Today we are going to talk about Plasko's Farm Creamery and Cafe. Plasko's is a family-owned business established in 1925 in Trumbull, Connecticut. It sells ice cream, coffee, and other beverages, as well as seasonal items such as Christmas trees, pumpkins, flowers, and the corn maze.
Before talking to Plasko's, we consider its market structure to be monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition occurs where many companies offer competing products or services that are similar, but not perfect substitutes. This market structure also has low barriers to entry. Plasko's offers many different services that are offered by other businesses as well, but they have their own unique aspects.
Now we're going to interview John Plasko, the owner of Plasko's Farm, about his perspective on this family business. Can you please state your name and occupation?
Sure. My name is John Plasko. I am the owner and operator of Plasko's Farm Creamery and Cafe in Trumbull, Connecticut.
All right, our first question for you is, how did you start this business and why did you choose the business you did?
Well, this has been a family business. That's actually, the farm has been in my family for over 100 years. My grandfather started our first farm in Trumbull back in 1921. My parents actually expanded things on this property back in the 1960s, where we mostly did flowers, bedding plants, vegetable plants, and my father sold produce that we grew on the farm. So in 2017, my wife Lisa and I decided that we wanted to change it up a little bit. Traditional ways of farming really weren't working anymore. They weren't generating enough revenue to actually support the farm. So what we decided to try was a creamery. We opened the creamery back in 2017, making ice cream, and it sort of took off. 2020, we decided to add on the cafe, which was the coffee component, which we do to this day. And that's primarily the two largest things that we do on the farm right now.
What's the market structure of your business, and who would you consider your market to be?
Well, our market primarily is just about anyone. Anyone who likes ice cream, likes ice cream and coffee. One of the reasons we chose both the ice cream and the coffee, arena to deal with is because it's such wide interest and wide acceptance. Some farms do other things which are much more unique to a certain population base and all that. But who doesn't like ice cream? Who doesn't like coffee? So we decided to get the largest population that we could for our products.
How do you decide your prices and output of products?
Well, there's two ways. Obviously, you've got market demand, right? So you have to look at what your expenses are, quite frankly. Your cost, factor in all your costs, and you guys are taking economics and all that, so you know all about that. So you have to consider everything that goes into the business. Then you have to look at what the market will bear for given pricing. So of course, you look at what the general pricing is for that product, the overall market, what your competition is charging, in other words, right? And then compared to what you have to charge, based on that, does it make sense? Are you making a profit? Is there enough margin in what you're doing? And in some cases, if you can't, if there's not enough margin, you can't compete, and you don't actually get into that product line. We've discontinued certain things because the pricing structure didn't work. And our product is very high quality. We use the best of all the ingredients, so that's very expensive. It's very expensive to do that. But we won't compromise quality because we insist on creating the highest quality product we possibly can have. Sometimes it's pricey, and we set those prices accordingly to what we think are appropriate margins for what we want to make. And if the market doesn't bear that, then obviously we'll see that in sales. And then if the sales aren't there for that, then we either have to reduce the price, and if we can't, discontinue that product.
Who or what do you consider as competition in your market?
Pretty much anyone in the ice cream or coffee business. So, from the coffee side, of course, we have our Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and whatever else, other small coffee shops and cafes. In the ice cream, any of your other local ice cream shops, fall into that. You guys pretty much know what they are. What sets us above or apart from that a little bit, is again the quality. And again, we are a small batch ice cream shop, so we make ice cream in very small quantities. We can control the quality a little bit better than some of our larger competitors and all that. And again, using the highest quality ingredients, is one of our trademarks.
Does the government regulate your business in any way?
There are, of course, certain licenses that we have to operate. The state frozen dessert license, which we have, and several other licenses that we have to have in order to operate a food service business. So yes, they do, in that respect. In terms of like Department of Agriculture, they don't really get involved too much with the ice cream and coffee side of it. But when it comes to like produce and that sort of thing, there are certain regulations that we're forced to follow. We're pretty much forced to follow anything that would apply to our type of business, which is pretty much retail food service.
How hard is it to be a business owner in your industry?
I think any small business is hard. The rate of success of any small business right now is somewhere around 25% to 75% fail rate for anyone starting a business. And I hope that's discouraging because that's one of the most rewarding things you can do. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of long hours. For the first 5 years of running the creamery and the cafe, my wife and I were here 7 days a week. We did not take a day off. We went on vacation, very, very long days. You have to give it your all. If you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to succeed, you've got to be all in. So it's not like working a 9-to-5 job. You got to live it, breathe it. It's got to be something that you really want. You have to have a passion, for that. So from that respect, it's very difficult, but it's also very, very rewarding.
One thing we didn't touch on in the interview was that Plasko's doesn't participate in price discrimination. They don't offer coupons, loyalty programs, or use any other methods that would differentiate price from one customer to the next.
After speaking to Mr. Plasko, we still believe that Plasko's Farm's market structure is monopolistic competition because there are many other ice cream shops and cafes near us that offer similar but not the same products. We also think that it may be a conglomerate because it specializes in multiple different areas as one business. As mentioned earlier, it specializes in ice cream, coffee, and farming.
To summarize the interview, Mr. Plasko said that since the business was a small family-owned business and his family for generations, he wanted to continue running it. He started the creamery and cafe because he felt that it would appeal to a larger market, who he considers anyone who likes ice cream. He said that it was hard to be a business owner in the sense that it is hard to run a small business, especially when in the starting phases.
He also mentioned that when choosing prices, he looked at other local ice cream and coffee shops as well as his operating costs. Using these to set the price, he would also look at how well a product did at that price and change it accordingly. He thinks that his competition is other local coffee and ice cream shops, which is why he looked at those shops for prices. Overall, the information he provided aligned with the market structure of Plasko's and our previous perceptions.
Too bad they don't sell burgers.
Thanks for listening to this episode.
Hope to see you soon.